Hi, this is Stacy with Lily Bean Crafts by Stacy. Welcome back, and if it's your first time, thanks for stopping by. So I am making another tropical fun tumbler. It just seems to be all that I am interested in making these days. So I'm just gonna roll with it until I get burned out on it. So I am starting off with a 12 by 12 vinyl sheet that I got from Gracefully Created. And I'm going to be putting a striped angled template that I have used in the past that I got from Diamonds and Dust. And I am also going to be doing this contact paper hack where I'm going to put this clear contact paper that I got from the dollar store. I'm starting off by trimming it to the size that it needs to be, and then I'm just going to place it on here. And then when I go onto my Cricut to cut the template that I'm using, it will cut out both the vinyl sheets and the contact paper to make my life a lot easier with doing this design. This was a little bit challenging to put on, but it is removable, so it was easy to play around with. It just took me a couple minutes. So I'm just going to go ahead and use the hinge method here to apply this. And it doesn't matter if there's any bubbles in it or anything, but I wanted to try to get it as straight on there as possible, so it just took me a couple minutes. You just got to be a little bit patient with it. My Cricut, I did use the textured vinyl cut, and I did add more pressure to it just to make sure that it cut out both sheets really nicely. And then I'm just going to go ahead and trim around here and get this cut as close to the template as possible. And then I'll just go ahead and weed around the edges and then trim it just a little bit more so that it will make applying it to the tumbler so much easier. So I'm going to take my little cradle that I got from Camipaige Boutique, and I just like to use that to put a little line, a straight line on there, just to make it a little bit easier when I'm applying the vinyl. When you're putting a template on, you want to make sure it's perfectly straight. So sometimes that line just helps me get it in the right place. And here I am, just go ahead and trimming out to do the hinge method with it. And then I'm just going to go ahead and put this on here and make sure that I have it lined up at the top and at the side so that it will be very easy for me. And I did this and I did all of this, and still my template was just slightly off. So I had to do a couple of minor adjustments to it, but it wasn't really a big deal. It is removable vinyl, so it was easy to work with. And here I am just kind of getting it all applied on there. And then I'm going to remove the two stripes that I'm not going to need. And then I can just kind of manipulate the rest of the vinyl to get it lined up perfectly. Here's where you can see that I'm just moving it over just a little bit, just to make it be as close as possible. With me glittering and spray painting and everything like that, I could have left it as it was and it wouldn't have been a big deal, but I just try to get it right from the very beginning. And this is why I wanted to use the contact paper, because it makes making this so much easier. I was able to take it outside and just spray paint the ombre. I went in with Skinny Dip, Island Girl, and Summer Pedicure, all from Color Shot spray paints. And now I am using the epoxy method to go ahead and put my beach colors on there. I started off with the new Venus Fine version, and now I'm going in with Pacific 2.0, which is a brand new color. Paradise is from the most recent monthly palette. And then the last one is called It Takes Two to Mango. I believe is the name of it. It's about to show up here and we'll be able to see it. Yeah, It Takes Two to Mango. And this is also from the brand new box that I got for this past month from ChaseRae Creations. These are all ChaseRae glitters and they're all new. They've all come out just recently. And remember, I do get a discount with them. So if you do need to get some of these, and you definitely need to get some of these colors, use LBC10 and you'll get a 15% discount. So I have showed you guys so many times how I do my beach ombre, and I'm doing the same thing, just tilting it, bringing it down real light the very first time, and then on my way back I'm going in heavier, getting full coverage of all of the glitters. And then the last one that I'm going to go in with is the Venus for the bottom. One thing that I did do as I went the first time with the tealy color, I did go with Pacific 2.0, which is a chunkier mix. And then for the second time through, I went with regular Pacific through there just to fill in all of those chunky pieces. And that was how I did that. And because I did some chunky, I did go ahead and just push down with my parchment paper onto that blue just to make sure that I got it good. And because I use the epoxy method to apply these glitters, I'm going to go straight in and remove the contact paper and get that all off of there so that it doesn't get glued onto the tumbler permanently. This is why I love this new contact paper method that I just started using. This saved me so much on painter's tape, and I was still able to see the design and make sure all the colors were working together, and I still got the fun reveal by taking off this contact paper. And once I put this off to the side and I let it dry, I'm going to go over and I'm going to seal it with my glitter glue, let that sit for 4 hours, and now I am going in with my first 25 mLs of my KS Resin Liquidy Split resin, and I'm going to go ahead and let this spin for about 2 hours, and then I'm going to go right back in with another 15 mLs. Now this tumbler that I'm using is a 32-ounce plump from the Tipsy Magnolia. I wanted to go with something a little bit bigger because I'm going to be adding some decals to it that match this vinyl, and I wanted to make sure that I had enough room to really get a lot of them on there, so that's why I went with that. So once this is completely dry, I'm going to go ahead and start on the next step. Now I'm going to go ahead and add some waves right over here to the beach portion of this striped tumbler. So I'm just going to take some painter's tape and just kind of tape off exactly where I'm going to be putting the main portion of the waves. And I'm going in with my glitter snow that I got from Amazon, and I'll link that in the description. And I'm just taking one of my paint brushes and I'm going to go ahead and paint on how I want the waves to look. I love this because I have control. I get to make them look exactly how I want them to. They're very textured, and I just feel like it's a little bit more realistic looking. And so I'm just going to go ahead and paint that on. And I did do another tutorial with this not too long ago. So if you want to see a little bit more in depth on how I actually painted this, I could definitely link that for you. So I'm going to put that at the bottom of the two stripe sections and then a little bit in the middle of it just to make it look like it's some waves that are rolling in, and then I'm going to put it off to the side and let it dry. And now I'm going to go ahead and take this tape off, and I'm going to start adding the vinyl elements that I want to use. This is a matching set that went with the vinyl that I got from Gracefully Created, and I really don't have a rhyme or reason with where my thought process is yet. I'm just going to go ahead and start applying things, and I always like to start off by covering up that little seam that is right in the middle of it on that back side. So that little surfboard was the perfect thing to cover that, and now I'm just going to kind of go and place things all over the place, just trying to figure out exactly where I want everything to be. I love Monstera leaves, so when I saw this vinyl set, I knew I had to have it. I did not use the popsicles. It's something that I just wound up not adding to it, but I used the hibiscus and the Monstera leaves and some of the other things. Definitely needed to put the words Aloha on here, and then there's a couple other flowers that I'm going to put on here and just kind of have fun with it. Now I'm going to go into my final stages of it. So I'm going to go in with 15 mLs of my fast set epoxy and go ahead and let that spin for 4 hours. Once it's done, I'm going to go ahead and sand it down, and then I'm going to go in with another 15 mLs of my Flynn Sisters Artist Cure resin, let that spin for 8 to 10 hours, and it will be done. Now I did do a glitter butt on this one, and it is a beach themed one, and I did that in my other tutorial, so like I said, I can go ahead and link that to it, and then this whole tumbler is done. And it turned out so pretty. I love all the colors, and I really wanted to use these new glitters right away that I got, and everything just came together so beautifully. I love doing the little bit of the beach on the tumbler without it being an entire beach tumbler. And if you like this tutorial, please hit that like and subscribe button. Bye bye.